Hi there, welcome back to today's Morning Moxie with Larisa. On my channel, I offer bite-sized pieces of inspiration and motivation to help you jumpstart your day. In particular, I am talking to the lady moguls out there who are building something special. And if you are new to my channel, welcome. I hope that you will like what you hear. And if you're coming back, a return listener, thanks so much for visiting today. I am excited to be with you. So on today's Morning Moxie, what we want to talk about is setting realistic goals. Now, before you hit the snooze button, I want to say a couple things. So hopefully, if you haven't done so already, make sure that you listen to the Tuesday Moxie, where I laid down the foundation for the precursor, if you will, for setting your goals, because a lot of people do that at the beginning of the year, or the quarter, however you want to do it. But they just, jump right into setting the goals without having, say, something that they are building toward. In my case, on Tuesday, I shared with you the foundation for building, creating your personal mission statement. So I'm going to assume that you have done your homework. And that's why we're here today to talk about now setting realistic goals now that you have your personal mission statement in place. Now, the first thing I want to suggest to you is, based on what you've learned from creating your personal mission statement, I'm sure you've come to realize that there may be just a wee bit of work ahead, because so my focus for this year, let me just go ahead and tell it all, is to really move the needle. I have been letting myself get by. I'm in a good place right now, and I'm kind of now looking around, okay, like for my what's next. And so I'm really excited about what's next, but I want to do it in taking bigger steps to move myself forward. And so I'm thinking that I may reinvigorate an old YouTube series I used to have called Your Money and Your Life. Now, that was about what it sounded like. It was about, teaching you about personal finance. But I think on this time around, I may share with you my personal journey as I am moving the needle, if you will, this year, and also engaged in our 4 P's to Peak Performance Challenge, which I announced over on my podcast channel, Divas, Diamonds, and Dollars. So with all that said, I wanted to share with you on setting realistic goals. And the first thing I'm going to say to you, which you already know, is that your goals need to be in writing. Well, what does that really mean? I am suggesting that you need to not just write down, okay, I'm going to travel to Europe this year. That is a reasonable goal. It has, specific. There's a lot of countries in Europe. And so you could write that down. But the thing about writing down your goals, you can't just make a list of things you want to accomplish. You need to have a success plan for achieving those goals. And that's what I want to speak to you specifically about. I can't tell you what your goals are. I will share with you some of my goals over there in Your Money and Your Life. That'll be, like I said, a new video series. But what I want to say. So if you have ever had to do a performance evaluation for anyone who reported to you, at some point this mnemonic, became very popular. You probably heard the phrase SMART goals, and that is really what I want to talk to you first about. So first of all, when you're creating your goals, but you must be really specific. So SMART stands for specific, measurable. Specific, I think that's probably clear enough to you. Measurable means you will have a change that is noticeable, like you might use numbers like a percentage or a quantity. Like, I can't say I want to make more money. I want to make an additional $10,000 a month, right? That is measurable because you can count how many new dollars you have, right? It needs to be attainable. We don't want you to set pie in the sky goals. I'm going to suggest it's not reasonable to say that you want to be the next passenger on, I don't even know if the name I was going to say, Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk rocket ship, right? I don't think that's attainable for the average person, superior average person that we are, right? So something that you can realistically do within the time frame that you have established, because I'm suggesting that you also want to do your goals by the quarter. You have your umbrella goal, right, for the year, but within that year, you need to break that down into the necessary steps. And so what can you achieve within this quarter? Because you can be overwhelmed by having this big window of time to fill. And then of course, life happens, and then you can get off track. So where were we? So it was specific, measurable, attainable, and realistic, or rather relevant, it needs to be relevant to what it is you're trying to accomplish in the big picture scheme of things, which is why you have your personal mission statement that you are building toward, right? And then the last T, the T is for time bound. You have to say by this date. You can't just say, I want this thing to happen. That's great. It may happen 10 years from now. Check. You can mark it off your list, but it took you 10 years. So you want to be really specific with what it is you want to do and by what time you want to accomplish that. So that is the first part of your success plan, right? So I'm suggesting that I don't have in front of me is that you get one of these little handy dandies, pardon me for getting all up in your grill. I love these little notebooks. I got these from Michael's and they're like, I think $2 at this point, but I have these by topic and I'm creating a new one for my my personal success plan, which I'll share with you later. But you don't have to do that. You know, piece of paper, a notebook, a journal, whatever you want to do. I just happen to love these little notebooks. But anyhow, before I ramble, so it needs to be in writing, it needs to be a SMART goal. And you want to specify how you will achieve this wonderful thing. You can't just say, I want to do it. You have to know how you need to do it. You have to write down the steps that are included in achieving this goal to get you from point A to point C. And what resources do you need to achieve this? Do you need to take a class? Do you need to get a certification? Do you need to read this book? Do you need to meet this person? What do you need to help you achieve that goal? So make sure you include that in your success plan and the time. So you want to allocate the time in your schedule. You want to do some time blocking on your calendar. What has really, really, really worked for me is setting apart focus time, at least 1 hour, but definitely 2 hours if you can squeeze it in each day. And that is just your heavy brain work so you can knock out these goals that you are working on. And well, I just said, specifically make sure you enter it into your calendar. So those are the general components of your success plan. And I would be interested if you want to share what some of the goals you are working on this year and how you want to break that up by the quarter, because that's really going to be helpful in getting you to achieve your goals for this new bright, shiny new year that we have. So anywho, that has been today's Morning Moxie with Larisa. And again, I invite you to visit Divas, Diamonds, and Dollars podcast. As we work through this challenge, there'll be more detail, more resources because the podcast is way bit longer. And that comes out every Sunday. So I will see you on the next video. Thank you so much. And if you haven't done so already, make sure that you subscribe so that you don't miss out. See you next time. Ciao.